Now you might be asking yourself, Aaron, why are you reviewing a movie that came out over a month ago? I will tell you, viewer. It's because I did not have a YouTube channel a month ago, and also, God's Not Dead 2 and Meet the Blacks don't seem that interesting. Plus, I'm also kind of broke. Hey guys, hope you had a great weekend. Today we are talking about the movie Zootopia. So this film was made by Disney Animation Studios, which I feel seems to be taking on a lot bigger subject matters than Pixar has lately. For example, with Big Hero 6 tackling heartbreak and sadness and depression. In Frozen, they were taking on subjects such as strong female leads who are very independent. And now in this movie, it's tackling stereotypes and social issues. So I feel like that's making leaps and bounds from what Pixar is doing. So Zootopia is the story of Judy Hopps, the very first rabbit officer in the Zootopia Police Department. Now Judy is from the more rural area just outside of Zootopia. She gets transferred over to Zootopia, which we find is this big animal world where animals are full of equality and things are very much catered to individual animals. Giraffes, mice, they all can cohabitate in this one area, and it's very specific for each animal, which is actually quite a lot of fun. So Judy wants to become this big detective in the Zootopia Police Department, but she gets typecast into parking duty because she's such a smaller animal that's in a police department that's full of big animals like oxes and lions and leopards. So they get more of the big jobs like detective work, while she gets stuck with parking duty because she's small. Now this at first upsets Judy, but then she sort of realizes she's going to do everything she can to make it a positive experience and be the best parking attendant that she can be. While on the job, she meets a sly street fox by the name of Nick Wilde, who's voiced by Jason Bateman. Now back at the police station, Judy overhears a conversation of a missing otter. She goes to the chief of police and tells them that she wants on the case and she doesn't matter what it's going to take. The chief gives her 48 hours to solve the case or she has to quit. Judy then enlists Nick's help in order to help find the missing otter because of his sly street skills. In the process of solving this case, Nick and Judy go on a wild adventure that spans all the way across Zootopia and its various territories. So eventually they find this missing otter, and in the process they find a much bigger problem inside of Zootopia. Now I don't want to spoil this movie for you guys because it has a great storyline, but just so you know, it does have a happy ending. Now I thought this movie was absolutely phenomenal. The animation was beautifully done, the animals were amazingly realistic, even though it is still a cartoon. The whole aspect of Zootopia is absolutely beautiful. I feel like I was living in a real breathing city. Also, another aspect that I love about this movie is the way that it mimics our real world. From the technology we use, to the way we are stereotyped, to our social interactions, the way we deal with government and media, all of it was very well mimicked between our real world and the way they interpret it. Now, with the way this movie ended, they can definitely make sequels, and I would love to see every single one of them, as long as they're not rushed like Cars 2 was, and as long as it doesn't take 15 years like the Incredibles sequel is going to take. Now, what I expected from this movie was just some silly kids movie about animals in their own little world, and it was just going to have some fun little jokes here and there for kids, and then it would ultimately not really have a good story. But what it turned out to be was something much better than I ever expected. What I got this movie was that they were being extremely clever. Not to the point where it was overly done, but where they mimicked society that we live in very, very well. They're able to address, like I said earlier, social issues, technology, all of these factors that relate to our real life, and how they can affect us in both a positive and a negative way. Now, I thought this movie brought a lot of awareness to issues that we face today. I liked how they mimicked that and how they were able to play with it in a fun way that kids can sort of understand now so that they can address them and face them earlier and be more aware of them and not hurt and be helped rather than hurt. So for example, our main character is a rabbit who's very often thought as a cute, cuddly animal who's often very weak. But she overcomes this and decides to become a police officer. In fact, the very first police officer in all of Zootopia that is a rabbit. She overcomes this adversity, and then she actually puts a positive spin on it and becomes a detective by the end. The same goes for our other main character, Nick Wilde, who's a fox. Now, he also gets typecast as this sly character who's always sneaky and up to things, but he actually helps the police officers, and it actually turns out to be better for him in that way. Now, all of these are great issues for kids to learn early on in life, And the way that it's presented in a kid's cartoon that makes it very easy for them to understand is really helpful for them to take these teachings in a way that they can understand, mold it, and then apply it to the society we live in to create a better world for us. Overall, I have to give this movie an A. It did absolutely amazing job in animation. It had heart, tons and tons of heart. It was extremely funny. It made all of the right plays in all the right areas, and it mimicked society so well, I felt like I was in a living society. Either way, you should definitely check this out. I know for sure I'm going to end up buying this movie when it comes out, and I'm sure I'll watch it countless times to find all the little Easter eggs in the background. You guys should definitely check it out as well. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and like always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.